So, Ryan, tell us a little bit about ACCO Brands and your story. So, a little bit about the company, a little bit about you, and how you got plugged into this supply chain modeling and analysis world.
Sure. So ACCO Brands is headquartered here in Chicago. We're a $1.7 billion consumer products company. Most of you probably have never heard of ACCO, but we have 12 brands that make up about 75% of our revenue. We work across three main categories: work, play, and learn. So in the workspace, it's products like shredders and laminators that use in an office space. You've probably heard of swingline staplers. Everyone's hopefully seen Office Space at this point and knows how Milton loves his red stapler. And whiteboards like the Quartet brand. So that's work for us. On the learn side, this is our peak season right now. It's back to school. Hopefully you guys are in Walmart, Target, Amazon buying a lot of 5-star and Mead notebooks. We'd love the support on that. So we're in the midst of that seasonal business. And then on the play side, we have a brand, PowerA, which makes video game controllers for Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation. So we're real excited with that right now because of the new launch of Nintendo Switch 2. So we're gearing up for a big holiday season there. So one of the things I will explain about our business, aside from kind of the technology side, we are in categories that are heavily focused on paper. And so that's very old school compared to what we're talking about here today. And so what we're trying to do is we have a mandate from corporate to try to save $100 million over the next 3 or 4 years. And we want to make sure we're as efficient as possible in supply chain. So we're looking to tools like Lyric to be able to drive maximum efficiency in what's traditionally been kind of a very old school type business. And so our journey in analytics started about 8 to 10 years ago. Being based in Chicago, we actually got tied up with Mike Watson and OpEx Analytics. He came into ACCO and talked about the cutting edge of things that are going on. We heard about the potato chip story, and going down the line, you could use machine learning to be able to flag all those potato chips and shoot them off the line. Got us excited about analytics. So we started to look at our tools and okay, how do we get started here? We started in Tableau. Okay, let's make some dashboards. This is going to be really awesome. And then eventually we said, okay, we need to go take the next step. We need to learn network analysis and do some inventory optimization. So we actually partnered up with OpEx. We had a couple of people that were working in their office in Evanston, so it was very collaborative, and we learned along the way. It actually got us started in using Alteryx, so kind of taking that next step in our journey. And so as we look at kind of the roadmap of tools that we're using, we're never going to be that company that can hire a ton of data scientists and be able to build stuff custom. But Lyric fit kind of that gap between Tableau, Alteryx, getting more into like light analytics, but giving us tools that we can use in our team of people that are largely in the business, analysts or smart people with math that have been trained up in using them to try to drive our evolution of analytics.
I want to talk more about your team in a minute. I'm also thinking fondly back on my own 5-star notebooks back in the day. They were just the best. But we got a very different company, very different supply chain here as well. So Andriy, would love you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm representing Kuehne+Nagel, which is the international logistics and forwarding company. So more than 130 years old. Specifically, I'm from 4PL department, so integrated, we call it integrated logistics, which is the same as 4PL or outsourced supply chain management. I'm leading global control tower operations, performance and continuous improvement. And our story with Lyric, how we engaged, is that we always knew that we are sitting on a lot of data, which we are mining in our operations by managing the supply chains of multiple customers, and how to make use of this data in a best possible way. And our story is similar to what Ryan explained. So we took this data and tried to visualize Tableau, then using different standalone network optimization tools, and always the same story. In order to create a new model, you spend a lot of time. And then you have another customer, similar model, you again spend a lot of time. And if customer asks you to add couple of more simulation scenarios, then you again spend a lot of time. So all it's an enormously long project. And when we started to engage with Lyric 1 year ago, we understood that actually we have the same mindset about having the one platform where we can send data real time, integrate with our operational system, and use this platform as a collaboration platform for supply chain optimization, where everything is one place, when you can use power of the data, squeeze out of data a lot of sense, and actually Lyric suddenly becomes a supply chain optimization knowledge management system, because also different people are working in the system from the company in interaction with the customer, because what is happening, what was happening before Lyric is that this knowledge was scattered within the company, and in order to gather this knowledge, you also spend enormous amount of time to understand the experience, how to best approach the customer. So actually, to conclude on this introduction, is that why did we engage with Lyric? Because we recently we created in our operations collaboration software across the supply chain for management orders and shipments, so across all the supply chain parties. And now we see in Lyric mirror the same collaboration software, but from optimization point of view. By combining these two pieces, you get operation and optimization as one organism that can work efficiently.
Yeah. And maybe just to follow up there. So both of you guys have been customers at Lyric, correct me if I'm wrong, but about 3 or 4 months. And just to push on a little bit, you started alluding to it that, you're evaluating Lyric. You have a lot of options out there to figure out how to bring these modeling and analysis use cases to life. What was it about Lyric that felt differentiated to you and ultimately kind of encouraged you to say, yep, we're going to go with this new company, try something different here?
May I?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
There were a couple of brilliant features. One is staying on modeling constantly. So we can create a model, and every supply chain of every other customer is different, but there are similar tasks that you check. How you can increase container utilization, how you can check all the possible routes by air freight, sea freight, truck, how you can place consolidation hubs. So there are a lot of similar tasks which you do on every supply chain. And once you do a model, and then you can scale it. So simply you use different data sets. So you pre-model the scenarios, and then what is different, what is changing? The data is changing. You get fresh shipment and order data, and you get input from external changes, business changes, volume, lanes, etc. And by having pre-modeled, pre-configured models, you accelerate time to value. That's the value behind staying on modeling. This is very cool feature of Lyric.
Yeah, just that always on modeling and the ability to answer questions on the fly. How about you, Ryan? Kind of what ultimately encouraged you guys to make the move?
Yeah, I think I'd take a little bit different tact. I agree with the acceleration. I would just add on top of that, it's really partnering with customer success here at Lyric. I think we had an understanding of the models that we're talking about. We had an understanding of how to, do this inside the Lyric platform after going through training. But it was the partnership with your team and Alex, basically, that helped us go through this and say, as we talked about, applying this to an ACCO Brands problem, like we ran into roadblocks, but we worked through those, and that really helped us say, okay, we have the confidence that we're going down the right path.
Yeah, and if I can dig into that, Ryan. So, I talked with Alex. For those of you who don't know Alex, maybe Alex, stand up for a second. Alex is one of our customer success business partners here at Lyric. So he is part of our team, again, that is helping folks build and drive value on the platform. So I remember I was catching up with Alex after I think you guys had done a training at ACCO, and Alex just goes, Laura, this team at ACCO is awesome. Like, they pick stuff up so quickly. They are building stuff. They're bringing things to life. And so the question for you, Ryan, is, you have this team, right, of Marias and builders. And I think you guys built like 3 models in 2 months. But how, from their perspective, from your perspective, did they kind of lamp up on Lyric, pick it up, and how did you guys move so quickly? Maybe describe these cases.
Yeah, I think our team, we're inside a supply chain, but we're a very eclectic group that's kind of been put together over the years, right? So we have people that came from IT, we got people that kind of have specific use or focus areas like in transportation. We have a wide range of capabilities just in kind of core capabilities like SQL, Python, just business knowledge. So we're a very eclectic group of people that came together. And so coming from just kind of the concept of using Alteryx and maybe more low code, no code, it was really easy for them to pick up kind of the concepts of Lyric really quickly in the UI. And we've been doing some of this modeling previously. Like, we have people that have been using Supply Chain Guru, so that wasn't kind of too far of a stretch. So I think it was a way for us to jump in. We were testing some things in building our own models in Python, whereas this is just a lot faster to get the solution built and productionalized than anything we've done in the past. So it was pretty easy.
Yeah, we are really trying to democratize the building here. And it allows the folks who have the business context to actually build these bespoke products and applications on Lyric. And Andriy, I know you guys are a little bit kind of earlier in your building your journey. You've already done a bunch of cool stuff, Maybe can you just describe a couple of the use cases that had been built today, and then just dig in a little more to the vision and where you're taking things?
Yeah, our vision is the first. What we do, we take all the network optimization modeling that we had elsewhere in some other software, or all the software that we used for data cleaning, work with data, processing data before optimization. We transition it to Lyric platform. It's about network optimization, consolidation model, track, container utilization models. This is the first step. And the next, we are looking into building more simulation scenarios, supply chain simulation scenarios for optimization purpose, also to react on various disturbances and choose the best solution, to build prediction models. So starting with the transitioning the base to new platform, then we plan to continue building up on Lyric capabilities, which are brand new versus the old tools. So it's not only better than the old tools, but also brings new capabilities that we saw also today in the presentation of Ganesh. And what is interesting is that all this Lyric roadmap that Lyric has enhances already the created models by every user of Lyric, and then you grow your capabilities constantly as Lyric creates new functionalities. This is scalable, robust, scalable. This is the same principle we apply in Kuehne+Nagel to any solution architectures that we are using for supply chain management.
Yeah. And because you mentioned the product keynote that we just had, you mentioned some of the simulation capabilities. I'm going to give both of you this question, but maybe Andriy will start with you. So, what is one thing that excited you about what you just saw on the product roadmap? And maybe what's one question you have? You have the product leadership team in the audience, so I think this is a chance to give feedback directly.
This is about two things were exciting. The speed of creating the 1000 scenarios, because this is always for people who have experience to deal with the data, they know that you build up a complex algorithm, and then your machine is stuck, and you cannot produce any single scenario. That's why it was an eye opener that you can do 1,000 scenarios in 29 minutes. And the other thing was about probability distribution. This is my dream from my high school time, how to handle these probabilities, and then this is really cool. It was like you realized my dream, Ganesh, today. So.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we got a lot of dreams that are being fulfilled here. And yeah, Ryan, how about you? What's your out?
So I'll speak really quickly. There's 3 projects we're working with Lyric on today. And one of them is a container optimization project. So today we run on SAP. We do our demand planning in APO, goes to the supply plan. And then ultimately that supply plan gets fed to our partner Kuehne+Nagel, who imports it into InfoNexus to do all the PO management with our vendors in Asia. And we import thousands of containers a year, and those 2 systems don't really talk to each other in terms of optimization. So we're looking at what's the inventory trade-off between increasing our container optimization versus adding inventory to the network, and figuring out how do we kind of optimize that threshold and have it be a little bit more dynamic depending on the time of the year. So that's the first one. Second one's traditional, more just general inventory optimization. And then the third one is really around demand planning. So I think that's interesting with what was presented earlier, looking into some of the newer models and Gen AI, how is that going to progress? We're really focused on trying to improve our near-term demand planning, so the more the demand sensing type work. And today, APO has some very kind of old school statistical models, and we're really looking at ways to enhance that.
Awesome. And I know that you guys have done a lot at ACCO. There's a lot more to do, right? And one thing that we started digging into a little bit was this team of Marias and the team of builders that you have, right? So how are you thinking kind of longer term as you were building out a roadmap of use cases and things that you could bring to life with that team and on a platform like Lyric, kind of about scaling and building on what's been done to date, Ryan?
Yeah, so the way we're structured in analytics is we have what essentially is a centralized team, but we have people that are embedded into the different functions of supply chain as experts. So we have people that are experts at outbound freight, inbound freight, customer point of sale data, supply planning. And so we're using those as kind of the subject matter experts to get that expertise into the team to show the average buyer, the average demand planner, what's possible on this platform. And eventually I could see scaling those people up and saying, okay, you can maybe tweak a model, and eventually maybe you can build a model. But it's a way for us to kind of get this more broadly into the business, to be able to show them the art of what's possible, so we can really start to accelerate the pipeline or the funnel of opportunities for using Lyric.
Awesome. And, it's no surprise to this group, right, that supply chains are facing more, disruptions all the time. And I won't repeat the same 3 or 4 sentences that are at the start of every white paper. But, thinking of your role, Andriy, as kind of leading global control tower operations and just the rate of disruption, how is that even impacting, how you are thinking about what to build and kind of the needs and the challenges that you're facing day to day in your leadership role?
Yeah, so we are living in a very special time. When we saw COVID, we thought, okay, COVID caused a huge disruption to the global supply chains, and we thought, okay, we overcome COVID and we are back to normal. But it seems to be that after COVID, the new normal is actually continuous disruptions. They are changing from one reason to another, and then due to these disruptions, you see the impact that the air freight capacity, for example, is getting lower, or sea freight capacity getting lower, or certain regions due to war are not accessible for transit, right? So, and many other disruptions, or black swans, as we call, and our customers demand that we react quickly as their partner. And how to react quickly? We obviously need to be ready. We need to pre-model potential disruptions. And then you can create a class of models. Let's say, okay, port strikes. You cannot create 200 models, strike in this port, strike in this port, but in principle, you can create models, port strikes in each region. Yeah, then you can create models. What if you need to bypass this region and do a different transit? And you have handful of these models ready for the next black swan to come. And then when this black swan is coming, then you only adjust what you created, so that you and you pre-discussed, you are prepared the way how you handle data, from where you take the data, which scenario you simulate. At the end, in logistics, whatever you do, the decision-making criteria is combined: cost, cash, service level, risk, lead time, right? And you can pre-model that. And then you are able, if you have 80-90% prepared, you are able to quickly react almost real time on supply chain disruptions. Doing what? Providing to your customer the alternatives and evaluating these alternatives and enabling higher quality of decision making. To sum up this, you spend more time on not to how you process the data, how you model, which tool you are using, because it's already resolved. You spend more time on what you are going to do. And this is like analogy, Ganesh, at the beginning you brought up sport. Yeah, the soccer team doesn't think how to kick the ball. They know it because they are super professionals, and we want to be the same super professionals with lyric. They think what to do in this particular moment in time to win the game. And this is the key enabler.
Yeah, and what's really cool about that, right, is we talk all the time up here about shifting from this project-based mindset to a product-based mindset, and that is what Andriy and Mayan and team are doing here, right? How do you build that product early on where you can use it, again, as that what-if answering machine, or respond and model out the impact of disruption so that you can focus your time on driving the insights and the decisions at the end of the day. I know we had a couple minutes left, and I'm gonna be selfish here and put on my customer success hat again, because we're all learning, we're growing together. I think we've mentioned over and over again how much of our product roadmap, how much of this company that we are building is shaped based on all of your feedback as customers. So I want to ask both of you, like, if you were giving advice, there's my microphone, advice to us, right, about how to build a company that delivers a world-class, best-in-class customer experience, what advice would you give? Maybe Mayan, we'll start with you.
I think we're on the right track with you guys, to be honest. I think the work that we're doing with customer success is integral to the success of us on the platform. I think we've had engagements with previous companies where they just hand over the tools to the software, and you're looking for guides online and trying to get a hold of someone, and really being able to kind of hold us through the process is really key to being able to get this up and running.
Yeah, awesome. What you, Andriy?
I think, the great collaboration is there between partners when partners enrich each other. So Lyric is delivering the great capability for the practitioners, we call it like that, yeah. Industry companies, logistics companies. On the other side, the customers enrich Lyric team with the real life cases. And following this dialogue, we together have a chance to constantly constantly develop and deliver what is really needed for the business. So there's agility in delivering features, in customizing the available models. This is for me what is defining the excellent collaboration. We follow the same principles with our customer, and this is the modern world. Yeah, so nothing is predefined 10 years upfront. But you need to adjust to the reality.
Yeah. Well, Andriy, Ryan, I can't thank you enough for being not only up here, but for the trust that you have placed in us as a company and our platform. There is a lot to build ahead. We're excited to do it with both of you, but I really appreciate you taking the time so much.
Thank you, May.